All right, before I go into the animals, the one thing I want to say about the animals is this. First of all, no two animal is going to behave the same every single year, and no two animals are alike. They are not created equal when it comes to the annual energies. The reason I say this is because in the past, and again, I've been doing this for quite some time, people say, well, you said so much about one animal and you said nothing about my one animal that I had in my chart. Well, it's because the energies are what they are. This is a repeatable pattern, and that's why we know with certainty we can depend on the information that we are receiving here, because this has happened over and over again. Remember, we said that 180 years is the next time it's going to come with this water tiger. Well, you know what? In the water tiger year, we have these specific energies that happened, and the same is going to happen for this year. So what I want you to do is I really want you to check your mindset right now. There are going to be some animals that you're going to go, yay, I got something really great going on. And then there's something like, I go, darn it, that's not such great news. Well, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to modify some of these more challenging ones into some that are, if you will, typically considered, not the greatest energies, but you can transform them. So, sometimes when we have these uncomfortable energies, they are life lessons. They are there for a purpose to help you grow. They are there to help you, develop into a better person. And it is how you handle the energies in which you will come out on top or not. So with that said, I want you to, just sit back and try to really take in the essence of the overall picture. You obviously are more than the year of birth. A lot of people go, oh, I was born in the monkey, or I was born in the tiger, but that's just giving you what? Just something about your social circles. We've already learned that you have much more to play with. And when you're playing with the full deck, you actually have a much better time at things as well, right? All right, so with that said, let's jump into the rabbit. I always start with the animal of the year, and so it's the rabbit this year that we're talking about. And every time we talk about the rabbit or any of the animals, we also want to know where they are located in your natal chart. Now, you may not have a rabbit in your chart. Do not check out and go, oh, I don't have a rabbit. Well, who else maybe in your life has a rabbit, and how these energies could be influencing them, as well as you will see that there are some clash animals. Oh, well, am I a clash to the rabbit, or am I a combo to the rabbit? Combos mean things typically are a little bit better, and clashes mean something is going to change. So the clash means things are changing in a certain area of my life. Therefore, what can I do about it? How do you know which area of your life? Pretty darn simple. It's the year of birth is going to be about your networks. It is going to be about your market expansion, your social circles, if you will, your marketing and things like that. If the rabbit shows up in your month, or any of the animals that I speak about, it's going to be about your career, your character, and your business, your job. Your day of birth is going to be about you, your personal growth, your partnerships, and your hour, if you know it, is going to be about your goals and your investments. That this is your life purpose legacy here. The distinction for, and I am going to, the luck cycle for those of you who have been following me. I don't want to open up a can of worms. If you understand this piece, great. If not, we're going to always talk about the natal chart but your luck cycle is about your journey, is about what is happening currently in the 10 years in which your luck cycle or your destiny cycle resides. And it is somehow influencing something in your natal chart, year, month, day, or hour. It could be a clash, a combination, a destruction, a harm. There's so many different combination ways of looking at your chart. So for those of you who have been following me on more advanced, yes, you can look at your destiny cycle. That's located on below your 5 structures. That's that long row. If you are new, please stay with the natal chart. Don't make things more difficult than they need to be. You're going to get the replay. You can always listen to this over and again. Okay. All right. So it has 3 stars in 2023. So let's see what those are. All right. First of all, for the favorable and unfavorable energies, we have a whole nice row of very good energies. And then every single animal is also going to have some unfavorable ones. Therefore, we have to look to see how we best handle the year. So let's start out with the advocates. Advocates are more about the unseen helpful people. They're like guardian angels. You probably already know these people. If this is already in your chart, if you've got the rabbit in your chart, you might need the courage to ask for help. This could also show up in the form of a large order or for a good or service from a buyer that came through this advocacy that was happening this year. You also have authority, and authority is about taking on a new responsibility. In leadership, it's about making right choices. When it comes to big decisions, there's new opportunities. This year is about growth, growth, growth. And the rabbit especially is about get going and growing. So your authority will also help you clear blockages and obstacles. The good question is basically you ask a good question, you're going to get a good answer. Really think about formulating questions when you're talking to people, like what do you really want to know? And especially if you're speaking from the place of authority and you're asking somebody for advice, a lot of people, you know, especially people who are pretty successful and they're very active and they have busy lives, don't waste it on meaningless question. Like get to the point of a good question that you're going to want to ask. These questions could also be about you asking a question and then taking concerted action. It's about maybe using a coach or a mentor to make the right moves. And this could also help your assets grow. This could also be a year where you ask for a raise or a project rate. Again, you have to do what the market will bear, which is a little bit in flux right now, but this is where the good question can come into play. Then we have notoriety. Notoriety is going to help you grow in popularity. Again, these new opportunities are going to appear. So it's going to put you in the spotlight, and it's going to put you in the spotlight whether you like it or not. So you might as well put your best foot forward because it is there to give you some notoriety this year. So a lot of people are going to be paying attention. So this is a year to take on some leadership, of course. Supporters, you're going to attract a lot of helpful people. There's going to be people that are going to be willing to assist you in your vision. And so, you know, when these people appear for you, you know, be very much in gratitude for their support with you. Brain power is something about learning and honing a skill. Now, rabbits in general are typically people that like to learn and study. They're very creative. And so this is actually going to help you even more. Rabbits, I can't emphasize enough, learn something new. This is an innovative year, learning something new, new growth. This is where you want to spend your time. Or if you are going to be be looking at something you already know, then take it to that next level. Again, then we've got the researcher that companions very well with this other energy. So that's going very, very, very deep. You may want to systematize your research so that you will be able to analyze it as well. Like, yes, you've done the research, but what are you going to do with it, right? Okay, and then the last, we also have Network Up. So this is about your networking efforts. So you need to get out there and be seen. You've got this notoriety coming to you anyway. So it could come along with, you know, some, you know, dining out, enjoying life a little bit, which you hopefully are able to do. And by doing so, you're going to attract the right people into your camp. So it is about getting out there and, you know, rubbing some shoulders, if you will. All right. So what we have on the unfavorable side is we have the Grand Duke, accidents, emotional drama, infections, hostility. All right, what does that all mean? Well, the Grand Duke, when you have the year of, and this year is the year of the rabbit, then they hold the energy of the Grand Duke. And this is a very powerful energy that, again, this is a pretty strong, very strong leader type energy, but not necessarily with a great impact if it is used improperly. So it can bring in significant challenges, unexpected change, depression, burnout, arguments. This is going to have a feng shui significance in 2023. And so we're not going to want to trigger this energy after February 4th, unless it's done very strategically. No renovations in this area. I'll talk more about that this afternoon. But basically, this is an energy that can be quite disruptive. So it's almost better that you keep it quiet, if you will. We also have accidents. So there's some health-related accidents that most likely are brought on by yourself because you're not really paying attention. But it also could be a cascade of petty people that come into your life. It also can be you know, like it brings some competition. It could feel like you're sort of emotionally trapped. So what you need to do with this is turn, like this and the Grand Duke especially, what you want to do is you want to turn these very, very aggressive energies from your mindset, from the way in which you handle these energies. I want you to literally help yourself by finding ways of healthy negotiation, healthy debate, you know, standing your ground without being, you know, so aggressive that it turns people away or causes a catapult of energy in the wrong way. Then we have emotional drama. So you may find yourself a little bit oversensitive this year. So watch your communications, do not engage in drama. Unfortunately, if you push this one too much, you may be the one that are led to tears versus others. So do watch the emotional drama for the year. And then we also have infection. So again, you can improve your immunity, you can manage your stress level, you're gonna be more susceptible to those bacterias and viruses out there. So what you really need to do is what works for you. Don't worry about what works for, you know, the rest of people. If you feel comfortable wearing a mask, wear a mask. If you don't, you don't, but know your health. Don't base your ideas on dogma. Find out what is right for you. If you have a sensitive immune system, that means that you're going to probably have to take more precautions. If you are somebody that's really strong and healthy, maybe you have less that you need to do, but do watch how you are handling yourself. Now, there is some indication for the rabbits to have some kidney or liver issues. This is the wood energy, but that's a little out of whack. Why? We have so much wood in the chart. That's what it's pure wood energy of the rabbit. So do have a little checkup if that is something. And liver is also about anger. So in traditional Chinese medicine. So how are you handling your anger is another way of looking at that. So we also have hostility. Again, this is a pretty aggressive stars. The competition is strong, very likely unfriendly. So keep your eye on your business and for any potential hostile takeovers. If you are in a position where you are a public company, that kind of thing will be something to watch for the year. All right, let's look at how some of these energies interplay with each other. So let's first look at the combination. The combination is the dog. And so if you have a dog in your chart, maybe you don't have a rabbit in your chart, these two are best friends, and typically they play very well together. So the dog, I can tell you, already has fabulous energy in 2023. So these two should get along pretty well in 2023. Now we do have a clash to the rabbit, and that is the rooster. Now, the rooster is one of the animals that are going to not have so many positive energies this year. So they do clash each other. Again, where would the rooster, if you have a rooster in your chart, where does that show up? Year, month, day, or hour? That will show you already where you're going to be experiencing some change. And what I absolutely advise is guide that change. Don't just wing it and go, oh my God, my business is going to fail. Well, what can you do right now to tighten up business systems and things like that to make it a better outcome for you? All right, I'm going to give you the first look at the Time Blazer. We're going to go into the Time Blazer. Again, this is my proprietary calendar system. And what you're seeing right now is the standard version. But boy, oh boy, wait till you see the live demo that we're going to do this afternoon. But for what you need to know right now, the month of March is the name of the animal for that month. And so throughout the month, you will have the rabbit energy. And the other thing that I want you to take note of on this is that we have green and white days. The green days mean that for certain things that are programmed in my software, they are of a certain vibrancy, which makes them green means go, 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 go. But if it falls below that threshold, we take away the color. And then it is there where the power of the Time Blazer also lies, of finding good times within those days so that you can do your milestone activities. Don't get so wrapped up with, oh my gosh, I can only work 6 days in the month of March. No, you work every day. But there are going to be times where you're going to want to make your important phone calls and do some launches or start a project, sign a contract, do those on good days. Important communications, do them on the good days and times. All right, and I'm also going to show you with each animal where they're located on the compass dial. So the rabbit is on east, is east 2. While we're on this dial, I want to explain this very, very quickly. This is what's called a 24 mountain dial. And every other pie shell, if you will, 15 degrees, there's going to be an animal. So we got a rabbit, then we've got an elephant, then we've got a dragon, then we have another pie shell, then we have a snake, then we got an elephant, then we have horse, and then we have the yang fire, all the way around the zodiac. And what I want you to take note of this, my friends, is if you have a rabbit in your chart, when you put that over your floor plan, what is that in your life? Because that's already going to start telling you, oh, for example, I have a year of birth rabbit, and it's a missing corner. And in other words, it is not in a square box or a rectangle, so it isn't in my living or working space at all. Well, then you can't. It's going to be very hard for you to be visible, have networking and things like that happen for you, or even or having an affinity at all to even doing those kinds of things. Your house doesn't support it. Your business space doesn't support it. And so again, we're trying to achieve our goals with the feng shui. That's why we want to make sure that our natal chart is depicted in your floor plan. That's actually a little bit advanced, my friends. And what I mean by that is, if you get it, great. If you don't, for those of you who are new, give yourself really an understanding that you are new at this. It may take you some time to understand this. I have clients that say, oh my God, the first year I was really kind of lost in what you're saying. Now I'm getting a better understanding. Why? Because they're more immersed in the topic. If this is something new to you, it's probably going to be like, oh my gosh, this is a little bit advanced. Well, just again, like what I said, do what you can, and then you're going to be better off on moving forward with all the material.